Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to unbox an AeroPilates machine. This is a 5-cord machine. It's the model 55-5007 or the 5007 model, however you want to say that. It's the black and white, the white frame with the black carriage. And so I'm just gonna show you how to unbox it in case you've recently purchased one of these. I don't want you to be intimidated by the unboxing and putting together. I have done quite a few of these for family members. And it's an easy enough process. It's absolutely worth it to have this machine in your home to help you get fitter than you are. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and open this box. I have already cut off the white straps that came in shipping, and I actually got into here to get a DVD out that I did not have yet that I wanted to try the workout. So I didn't take anything else out. I just grab the DVD out real quickly so that I can use it as a workout. But this is what you're gonna see when you open your box. You would, like I said, there will be white straps on here that you have to cut that are shipping straps. And then you'll have to go ahead and cut the whole length here and the sides here to get it to this point where you open it. Okay? Now that you're in the box, you're gonna have this piece of cardboard on top. That's a protective piece. And I actually set this at the end of the box, depending on where the foot part of the AeroPilates is. You can see that right now. So if you look right here, you can see the 2 holes. This is the foot part. This is the part I'm gonna actually topple off onto the floor in a little bit. I'll show you how to do that. I'll get a better view. But so look for this white, you might have black right here, whatever color your frame is, you're gonna look for about a, what do you think that's like? 2.5 inch strip showing of a foot positioning. You can tell by the holes that this is either, it might be the bottom or the head, that doesn't matter right now, but this is the side where we're gonna tumble out onto this cardboard. So I'm gonna line this cardboard up right under the flap. And I'm doing that to protect my floors. If you have carpet and you're not, really worried about your floors, you don't even need that piece of cardboard. The big one that was on top, you can just discard it. But for now, I have it at the end there, according to where I can see this foot or head part with the 2 holes. Now, you can tell this plastic is actually ripped. I got the DVD out, which was in this packet. This packet was just right here. Yours will be right around this area too. It has the wall chart, it will have your DVDs, and it will have your instruction booklet. And right now I'm just gonna set that aside. Now, I ripped this bag, as I said, to get the DVD out, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep ripping it to get the rest of these pieces out. So before you start putting it together, you really need all your pieces out. Okay. You can see this first big piece set. This is the tow bar. That's where you're gonna do your warm-up footwork. You'll use this a lot of the times in pure Pilates, definitely. Anytime you're not doing cardio, this will probably be on your foot portion of your AeroPilates. So I'm gonna set this aside. These are gonna be your pulley risers. They're just like a little container, but there's 2 pull bars in here. And then your pulley risers, you're gonna set those aside. This is the rebounder. It comes protected inside that box and inside plastic. Again, this is gonna be set aside. So what we're doing is we're gonna get everything set aside and out so that we can stand up this AeroPilates and go from there with the putting together process. You're gonna have your shoulder pads in here. We're gonna pop those in later. I'm just setting them to the side right now. And these are your end caps. They're down in here in the cords, so just carefully take them out. The cords aren't gonna go anywhere, so you really won't damage them, but I mean, maybe you could pull them a little, or you could possibly scratch the threads that are around the rubber. So you can be careful with that. So just get these out. These are the end caps. One is where you're gonna stand when you're doing your standing work. The other one's gonna be where the pulley risers go. There's 2 of those in there. Pop those out and set them aside. So I'm just lifting the cords. They're really wedged in there for protection. Just lift the cords, move them around until you can release it. Set it aside. Next, you're gonna have this packet. You definitely don't wanna lose this. This has like all your wheels, your screws for the rebounder, for the risers, and the little feet that you're gonna put on during putting it together. So this bag you're gonna need, set it aside nicely. You're gonna see the handles in here. These are actually attached to the machine. So I just leave these tucked in here right now. We will deal with them later when we have to put them together. But right now they're safe in here, and you don't want them hanging out all loose everywhere when you're trying to put the rest of it together and stand it up. And now I'm just gonna take away all the styrofoam pieces. You just don't need these in here. They're gonna be kind of in the way when you're trying to put things together. And I'm just gonna set those aside. Okay. So this is a refurbished unit that I purchased. Refurbished customer return. So at this point I can see just some really light little scratches. If you're buying a new one, you won't have that. If you're buying the refurbished, they're absolutely worth it because there's very few flaws on these machines. The cords are like brand new. Everything else is brand new. So it's a great price that you're gonna get just for a customer return or a refurbished unit. It's just because it's shipped a little or a couple times to the original customer, maybe back, and then to you, you're gonna have some marks from shipping. But it's not a big deal. It doesn't affect the integrity, and they are guaranteed if you buy them through the manufacturer, which I can put the link below. There's an eBay seller that is either the manufacturer or works. They're a certified seller of these machines, and they can guarantee this product even if you buy it refurbished or return as a customer return. And so I'll put that link below. But that's where this machine came from, and that's all. Let's go ahead and get it out. Okay, so I'm zoomed in on this end piece of the AeroPilates. It's because I'm going to show you how to start getting this out of the box. You can cut this box completely open and kind of slide it out, whatever you have room for. I don't have the room for that in this room right now. But if you put it in a space, if you start it in a space where you have a lot of room, you can do that and slide it out, and you won't have to do this step. But if you have limited space like myself, this is the best way to get it out of the box. You're going to make sure you put your feet against the box as stability, and you're going to squat down. You do not want to be bending over and yanking up. You're going to hurt your back if you do that. But if you bend in a slight squat, and what you're going to do is get under the entire unit. This is the top part of the unit. There's the bottom part of the unit. You're going to get under the entire unit, and you're going to set this whole part on the edge here. So hopefully this will show. Okay, so I'm going to grab under. I'm squatting down, lifting with my legs. Can you see that? I'm using my feet to hold the box steady. Okay, and we got it out there. Now that's the little bit of wrestling that you're gonna have to do with this unit. There's actually a little more wrestling, but do not be intimidated. Like I said, it is worth it in the end. But as you can see, this is now propped up on the edge. I have my other piece of cardboard down here to protect my floor. And I'm actually gonna stand in the box with my machine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up, there's a bar here, a bar support. This is actually what you're going to use in the future to fold up your machine. So it's super sturdy. You can go ahead and grab it. And I'm going to grab it a little underneath, squatting down, standing up through my legs, and I'm going to roll the machine to standing. I know that was kind of hard to see, but it is now standing next to me. And now that it's out of the box, I can go ahead and get the box over to the side. Nothing else is in the box except scraps. So I'm going to get rid of the box and put it to the side. And you can see that cardboard is under there. The reason I put that under there, this is steel. And these edges, while they're not sharp, like it will cut you, it could scratch the floor. So I have it under there to protect the floor. And the next thing we're going to do is lay this machine down. I'm going to go ahead and take the bag off. It might lean a little. It's standing on its own, but there's no need to fall. So it might lean a little, so be careful when you're taking the bag off. You don't want it to fall on you. Go ahead and set the bag to the side. And now I'm going to slide the cardboard that was under back. And because I don't have a lot of space, if I had more space, I could just go straight back. I wouldn't have to mess with this cardboard. Now I'm going to lay it down. Squatting. Okay. So now my machine is laid down and we're gonna finish putting it together. And this is the time that you're gonna get that kit that had all the screws in it. So here's my little bag of everything I need. This has tools and all the screws. The first part that you do while it's folded and laid down like this is you're gonna put the wheels on the end. You see right here, these are soldered on pins. It basically looks kind of like a long screw. And that is where you're gonna put the wheels. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out my wheels. First wheel. Second wheel. So you have 6 washers. You're gonna use 3 per wheel set. 2 go immediately on to this screw, this bar, this little tiny bar here. 2 are gonna go on immediately. And then you slide the wheel on. And the reason I'm having a little problem, I'm trying to check the camera and make sure you can see this instead of actually looking down at the wheel, but you see, you will not have the problems that I'm having. And then the last washer is gonna go on the outside. Okay, so there you have it. The wheels are on, and we have these nuts that we're gonna tighten them on with. And this is where this tool comes in handy. So you have a screwdriver tool that they will give to you with the set. And then this is kind of like a ratchet for this particular part of putting it together. You're gonna use the wider end of the ratchet, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and finger tighten these bolts first on the end of the screws. And the one thing I want you to remember when you're doing your wheels, you do not want to over tighten these. I did that once. I got it on so well and the wheels did not even roll. And so it was near impossible to roll the machine up and fold it up like it's supposed to be folded. So I had to go ahead and loosen them, which is just a waste of time, but not a big deal. So now again, you're gonna see one end is a little crimped, okay? And then the other end is not crimped, and that's the end we're gonna use, the end that's not crimped. And so you're just gonna, you can hand tighten this a little bit, and maybe if you're strong, you can do it pretty far, but eventually you might need to use this guy, and you just stick them into the hole here. Oh, I was gonna say, that's really funny. All of the other ones I've had have fit, but that one gave me a little trouble, but look, it's still in. Okay, so now, and I'm gonna just tighten by pulling that guy. The annoying thing is you have to take it off. So if you have a good ratchet set, that would save you some time. If not, it's not too much trouble to just lower it down, tighten it up, take it off, lower it down, tighten it up, take it off, etc. Until you get a good hold on there. You still want to spin that wheel. Make sure it has plenty of room to roll so that you can fold this up later. Okay. And I can see the white through the nut, so I'm going to go ahead and start. This might be a little easier on this side for a couple. Okay. So that's good enough. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it back in through the hole. Get my grip. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And I'm just going to get it tightened. Pull it off, turn it up, get it on, get it on, pull it back down, pull it off, turn it up, turn it back down, and I'm going to do that just a couple times until I see that white coming through the nut. Okay, so timeline-wise, getting the AeroPilates out of the box and getting all the pieces to the side is really what takes the most time. This took, I mean, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes right now, but to get these wheels on, and I was talking through it. So that's not time consuming. The actual putting together the machine is not time consuming, but the whole process of getting it out of the box and getting everything to the side, it's gonna take probably about 30 minutes. The actual put together time, you may have heard Marjolaine Bergman on HSN or QVC saying it takes about 10 minutes to put together, and it absolutely will if you know what you're doing, and if you get all the pieces aside so that you're ready. The actual putting together can take about 10 minutes, okay? So now that we're done with these wheels, we're gonna set it up on its side. So we're gonna turn it up onto its side, and we're gonna slightly open it into a V position. Okay, so to get it on its side, or to get it stood up, so that I can V position it, I'm again gonna squat down And if you have problems squatting down, you probably are gonna want some help with this whole put together. But it is like only a few squats. So if you can manage a couple to get down, and I'm just gonna lift by standing up my leg through my legs. I know you can't really see that. And then usually there's a pin, and it's actually on the other side, that holds this unit closed together. But it was, because it's a return unit, the pin was not in, but you might have to reach down here, and can you see this pin right here? And you might have to unplug it from the hole that's in here before you can open this up into a V. But since mine was not a problem, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. And this is the part that will really scratch your floor. These are much less rounded and smooth, and the end caps are gonna go in here, so it doesn't really matter right now, but for your floor right now, you definitely wanna make sure something is under this section if you are trying to protect your floor. Okay. We're open to V. You have to be careful right now with the carriage because it could actually roll off the end. Now that we have it open on the V, we have these little feet that came in our bag, and there's 4 of them. And they look like standard feet that you would put on the bottom of some equipment or something. So I have all 4, and then you can see, because now it's at a V, there is a hole here on the underside. It's going to be the underside of the carriage or of the machine. A hole here, and then, can't really see it, but whoops, that was the carriage coming off. So if the carriage comes off like that just happened, you heard it slam down, I'm going to show you back here. That is one of the things that can happen while you're putting it together. Do not panic. It is a very easy fix. So you can see the wheel of the carriage here. That means it is not in the track. Can you see that? So all you have to do to get back in track is, in this case, I'm going to lift up the track, and I pulled it back down away from the wheel a little. And I'm going to have to line up this top wheel, but the bottom wheel too, but they'll pretty much go, it won't be a problem if I line up this top one. As long as I pulled it back far enough, I line up this top one, it will line into the other one. And then I just pull the carriage down. Did you guys see that? So now the carriage is back on the track, and I'm just going to be careful not to push down at this other end so that it doesn't come back off. Okay guys, so I'm going to take a quick shot before I get the feet on, and you can now see the holes on the bottom there and on the bottom over here. So now that you saw the holes, we have our feet. You can see that the feet have a little screw on the top, and we're going to hand tighten these into the holes at first, and then we take the tool that came with the set. We're going to make sure it's lined up into the screw. It's a Phillips screw, and we're going to finish twisting it out. Now, to be perfectly honest, this is probably the most time-consuming part of the entire build. Are these 4 little feet is actually an easy process. So 4 screws, I'm getting tightened in there. Okay, very nice and tight. The next time I'm gonna try to hand screw tighten it first. Okay, it did start. And then I'm gonna get the screw in there, make sure it's lined up, and really screw it in. You're gonna have to put pressure. I mean, if you know about screwing things into equipment, you know you have to put some pressure on that screw to really get it in there and make sure it's catching. So make sure you're pushing into the actual foot once you get the screw lined up. So on this refurbished unit, we are actually missing one of the screws for the feet, which is really a bummer. I've never actually had a missing piece on one of these units before, and we've bought several for family members and such. So this is my first experience with that, but we will just find a screw later and get it in there. Right now I'm just going to finish my other feet. Okay, with the most time-consuming part out of the way, I am going to go ahead and check my box real quickly and make sure I didn't miss the screw in the box, and just look around for the missing piece before I have to go ahead and contact the company. But so let me do that real quickly and I'll be right back with you. Okay, the missing screw was found, which is excellent. Like I said, with these refurbished return units, we've ordered several for family members and we've never had a missing piece. So I was gonna be surprised. It was actually in the giant box. So if you are missing a piece on a refurbished return unit from the seller that I put down below, who is qualified to guarantee that it's gonna work, check the box for anything that might have fallen loose in the multiple shippings. And then if there is a problem, you know, go ahead and contact them. I heard they have a great customer service number and that they're very helpful and they want to get you your product working. But it's just a bummer if you first opened it and were missing a piece, but that was not the case. It was in the box, okay? Okay, all 4 feet are screwed in. Now the next part that we have to do for this machine is we have to open it all the way long, and we're gonna lay it flat so that we can continue putting it together. But this is like the hardest part. Once it's open, so right now this next part, if you have somebody help you move it to where you actually want it, you can open it long there and it can, you know, be in its right place. You can pop on the pieces and you can get right on it right after it's all put together. So again, all we did so far is put on these wheels with the washers and the nuts, and that took a little bit of time, but that was actually pretty quick. And then this is the most time consuming are these little 4 feet, but it's really not that long. And if you have a better screwdriver, it'll go a little faster, but it goes fast enough with this. Usually I can hand tighten them a little, but in this case I was not able to do that because the screws were a little loose, and so I just screwed them in, and like you saw, it probably still took, well, I would say under 4 minutes total. So we're at about 6 minutes right now for just screwing things on with everything. Moving the machine around probably takes another couple minutes. But I still think we're gonna be near 10 or under 10 for the final product, or final put together. But just know that timing is only screwing things in, only screwing things on, and only popping things on. Moving the machine around is gonna probably add another couple minutes. Getting it out of the box and getting everything unpacked is actually gonna add like another few minutes. So let's get on with it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open this wide and flat, and we'll finish putting it together like I said. The carriage is on. If it pops off again during this process, I showed you how to put it back on. I will do a separate video about that too because it's kind of a pain when that happens, so you can see what you're supposed to do, but make sure your carriages pop back on, and let's go ahead and get it straightened out. So if I had more space, I could just walk the one side completely around and get it opened up. I don't have that space, but I'm gonna do the best I can with what I have. I'm gonna start by scooting this cardboard with the pieces that can scratch the floor this way. And I'm gonna do that by coming back here. I'm gonna lift up this corner piece, slide, so nothing is dragging on the ground or scratching the ground. Okay, and let's see. Let's go a little bit closer to you guys. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and walk it open. I'm lifting up this edge off so it doesn't scratch the whole time I'm opening it. And I'm gonna grab this edge kind of as support. Again, this is like one of the more challenging, and see my carriage just came off. I'm just yanking it to put it back on. Okay. Getting the strap out of the way. And now I'm gonna lay this guy down. Carefully, carefully. Down. Now the rubber feet are on, it's gonna protect the floor, which is amazing. And now you can see what's left. So you have the headrest is covered in cardboard with a rubber band. You can grab that off. You have your headrest. Your straps are all tangled up, that's fine for now. Let's get to the end caps. So, let's start with the shoulder pads. They come wrapped up like this, and we're just gonna unwrap them. I'm gonna rip, but you can use scissors, whatever you need. A knife, pocket knife, whatever you have. It's open. And then obviously this part's gonna go into the shoulder area. There's a hole, it'll pop right in, super easy. These are removable during your workout, and I'll show you probably in the future why you might wanna remove them every now and then for certain exercises. And they just pop right out. I'm gonna open this one again now. Okay, pop it in. Grab your end caps. You're gonna have 2 end caps. Okay. Here are 2 end caps. And you can see inside here, this is like a double-sided sticky pad thing. So you're gonna pull that off so that you can put these on. But I actually have put it on, not lined up before. So make sure when you pull these off that you have it completely lined up, and you'll be able to see these holes are gonna have to line up with the holes in the actual machine so that the bars can go in there. Okay, so make sure they're perfectly lined up so that you don't have any problems, otherwise you have to rip it back off. So you can see the difference between these 2 end caps. They both have, I'll show you here, they both have the square side where they have like a little square cut out, kind of looks like a square arch. Those face the rails, okay? So this is gonna face the rail like towards the head, this will face towards the feet. The real, I got that backwards, but one clue is if you have this caution sticker, this is usually gonna be at the feet. So this is gonna be the foot side. These squares are gonna face towards the head. If you don't have this sticker, another way to tell is it has 2 extra cutouts on the back. So let me show you the other back. Now, instead of the square arches, they have the curved arches on the edges. And then in the middle, you have the cutouts for the wheels on this bottom one. And that's the one you're gonna put, obviously, the wheels are gonna fit right in there. This part's gonna go facing the rails. Again, it has that caution sticker, which shows you that it's gonna go towards the head. But if you don't have that caution sticker on there for whatever reason, you can tell by this extra 2 cutouts right here that are for the wheels. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pop those on. Pulling off the sticky tape, the sticky side. Pulling it off. And now I'm gonna make sure I really line up those holes. Okay, these holes are gonna be super lined up with the holes that are in there before I press down. I put my fingers in there to help line it up. And then when you are lined up, press it down. A good way to tell, if you want to, before you even press it down, if you have the foot bar unwrapped at this point, which I do not, but I'm gonna unwrap it real quickly. So you just pull off the plastic for the foot bar. It's kind of like a snake skin, and it just comes off on one edge. You can cut it off, whatever you want to do, get it open. Okay, so now I'm gonna see if it pops in. And that is chum. Okay, it pops right in. That shows me that I lined it up very well. Even though this is the head, so the foot bar's not gonna go here. If it will fit in, your pulley risers will fit in too. So that's a little test. Now, we're gonna pull these off. And I'm gonna bring you closer to show this part. Okay, so now we're at the foot side of the machine. You can tell it's the foot side because you can see the cords where they would pop in right here. So this is your foot side. As we said, the risers with the 2 extra parts in the middle are gonna go on the foot side. So the side that has the warning sticker is gonna face you so that when you're facing the feet, you can see that warning, okay? So warning sticker is going this way, and the side with the wheels are going that way, and the wheels are actually over there, so it's gonna make sense. I already took the sticky part off. It's ready to go. So you can kind of see, I'm slowly putting it on. I'm gonna stick my fingers in there to make sure it's lined up. And then I can press it on, and I'm gonna do the test with the foot bar. Okay, the foot bar pops in. We are good with the end cap. While I'm down here, I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 cord in. And to do that, you just pull out and slide it in to the socket there. You see that? So maybe I'll do the red or the yellow so you can see too. Pull it out, slide it into the socket. All right, let's go back to the final pieces of putting it together. Okay, so we are almost done with our assembly of the AeroPilates. This little package that I showed you earlier in the video are the pulley risers. Okay, you can see there's 2 bars in there. We're gonna open that up. I'm gonna open it from the top here, and I'm gonna try to slide them out. I'm gonna open the plastic from the top, I hope. And they're taped really well in there so they won't slide and get scratched up, but it'll slide right out if you rip the cardboard and rip that plastic right there. If you have scissors, you can obviously cut them out. It might be a little more efficient, but actually that was a lot quicker. In your bag came 4 of these screws. 2 of these are for the rebounder or the footbar, which I never use. I never screw them in. If you screw them in, they might make a little less noise, maybe be a little firmer, but it's just time consuming and it's not necessary. Marjolaine Bergman herself on HSN and QVC has said that she does not screw hers in, and so I don't screw mine in. I think it was great advice to not screw them in. But the pulley risers, you absolutely have to screw in, or you're gonna whack yourself in the head when you're trying to do the exercises. So this is what the pulley riser looks like out. This is the top, and then you can see this is gonna be the side that we need to put outwards. You can see these holes right here. This hole has to line up with these when I put it in here, so that I can screw this in. You're gonna know that you're kind of straight when these holes are on the side. These holes are facing left to right, not front to back of the machine. And you really screw that guy in. Make it pretty tight. You want these to be stable. You're gonna be pulling the cords, so that needs to have very little to no give. And the second pulley riser, again, I'm going to line, this is the top, this is the bottom. I'm going to line up the hole with the little archway here. The holes are left to right, and I'm gonna screw it in. Okay, make sure it's nice and tight. Here are the straps. Now that I have the pulley risers in, I'm gonna just take the rubber bands off the straps. I left those in the whole time to kind of keep them out of the way. Can you see that? Yeah. So they have rubber bands on both ends. This one's actually attached, and I usually cut it, but it ripped, so that would come off. Now the strap is loose, and the cable is loose. These are actually called the straps, and then this obviously is the fluffy handle. And you can see this right hook. I'm going to show you how to hook that in just a second. So let's get the other strap, open it up, rubber band off. Other rubber band off. This is the one that's still attached on, so you can rip it. It's not working. Oh, there you go. If you had scissors or a knife, it would be easy to cut it. Okay, so now I have both handles out, both straps out. These are the part that's gonna hook onto the pulley riser. So make sure you can just get it all untangled. You see it's kind of a mess there. Might be a little twisted up. There we go. And now we're gonna hook them onto the pulley risers. The first thing I'm gonna do is, see how there's an arch here? That's my favorite word today, this arch area. I'm gonna act like I'm putting it on the top there. And then I'm gonna slide it down, and that is, see how the arch is gonna hug there? So that is gonna go into the hole, all the way through to the other side, and it's gonna hug down in there, okay? See how that's on there? So it's going from left to right into those holes, and it's hugging that back brace. Let's untwist the second one and get it ready. Okay, again, I'm acting like it's gonna slide on the top there. Let me see that. Oh. So I'm acting like it's gonna slide on the top there, but I'm moving down, and I'm gonna slide it through the top hole. It's gonna hug the back. These are on the back. They do not go on the front. So this is the very top of my machine. Here is my end cap. So this is gonna hug the back. And the body of the machine is that way. if you can kind of, that way, is the body machine where I'm going to be sitting and everything. So this is away from the body of the machine. So I'm pulling the straps back from the pulley risers, and I just hook them here on my shoulder pads. Alright, so there you have it. The AeroPilates machine is now put together. The parts that we did for putting it together after getting out of the box was to screw on the wheels, was putting on the 4 feet when it was still at a V position, then we opened it up, and then we placed on the shoulder pads that pop right in and out. And we placed the end caps on after taking off the little sticky part so that they would stick down, making sure that they were lined up with the holes so that the pulley risers and the foot bar or rebounder could be used. And we attached these cords to the pulley riser so that they're nice and secure. And now this machine is absolutely ready to be used. And we didn't talk much about the rebounder. The rebounder on the 5 cords comes in 1 piece. So you do not have to do any assembly on that. On the 4 cords and the 3 cords, it comes where you have to open it up and pop it open. A lot of people have trouble with that, so I'll make a video about that, how an easy way to do that. But this one's all 1 piece. It's ready to go. As soon as I unwrap it, I can pop it in the end and start jumping. And these easily change from the rebounder to the foot bar. As I said, I do not screw them in, just like Marjolaine Bergman does not screw them in, but obviously you can. And so I just wanted to see this frame. I'm gonna go ahead and pan over and just show you the end product, but it's time for cleanup, so I'm going to clean up all this mess first and then go ahead and show you the end product. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me for this assembly. All right, so the pulley risers, again, we put those together, and I'll give you a close-up of how we put those together. Okay. Pan down to the cords. The handles go right on the shoulder pads and all the way to the foot bar. Foot bar and rebounder are interchangeable, and the cords you can switch out according to your needs. This is a 5 cord. It has 2 black, 2 red, 1 yellow. Beautiful machine. Again, this is the 5007 model or the 5007 model. Okay, so please let me know if you have any questions. I will be doing many more AeroPilates videos, so you can go ahead and subscribe. Hopefully I'm doing them in a timely manner, and let me know what you think. If you're a little discouraged about how long it took on this video, please do not be discouraged. Please know that it's absolutely worth it. And I do hope that you guys can get this machine. It'll benefit everyone in your family. My teenage children, my teenage boys use it. My husband uses it when I force him. And my mother and I use it on a pretty regular basis, trying to get back into shape. So, beautiful machine. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.